Hello learners, welcome to the channel Econ with me. So today we will discuss about Introduction to Economics. Now let's see what we will learn in this video. Number 1, defining economics. Number 2, difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Number 3, economy and its central problems. So let's move forward toward our first point of discussion, that is, what is economics? Economics is the study of economic problems. And how does this economic problem arises? This economic problem arises due to the fact that resources are scarce. So learners, resources, whether they are human resource, natural resource, technical resource, they are limited in nature. So economics is the subject matter that studies the economic problem arising out of the fact that resources are scarce. So furthermore, it focuses on the rational management of scarce resources in a manner such that our economic gains are maximized at micro and macro level. So learners, I hope you know that economics is a vast subject which is divided into two types, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Micro, as the name suggests, meaning small. So it studies economy at individual level. Whereas macro means large. It studies economy as a whole. So at micro level, at individual level, an individual can either be consumer or a producer. So what do you understand by maximization of economic gains? So at micro level, as a consumer, economic gains are maximized when satisfaction is maximized. And as a producer, economic gains are maximized when profits are maximized. On the other hand, at macro level, economic gains are said to be maximized when social welfare is maximized, as well as there is an increase in the pace of economic growth. So economics is the subject matter that studies economic problems arising out of the fact that resources are scarce. Furthermore, it focuses on the rational management of scarce resources. In what manner? In such a manner that our economic gains are maximized at micro and macro level. At micro level, individual can either be a producer or a consumer. So as a consumer, maximization of economic gains happens when there is maximization of satisfaction. And as a producer, maximization of economic gains happens when there is maximization of profit. At macro level, economic gains are said to be maximized when there is maximization of social welfare as well as increase in the pace of economic growth. So I hope you understood the concept, the subject that you are studying, economics. Alright? So now let's go forward toward our second point of discussion, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. So I will teach you both of the concept through table of difference so that you not only know what these concepts are but also will be able to differ between these two. It is very important topic, okay? So number 1, the basis, Greek word. As we know that every word is derived from some word, right? Whether it is Latin, Greek, Sanskrit. So microeconomics is derived from Greek word micros, meaning small. As I told you earlier, just remember microeconomics from the example microscope, which means small. So Microeconomics is derived from Greek word micros meaning small. On the other hand, macroeconomics is derived from Greek word macros meaning large. So both are derived from Greek words. Microeconomic from micros and macroeconomics from macros. Second basis is meaning. So microeconomics is the study of individual economic units of an economy like individual consumer, individual producer, firm. So microeconomics study individual economic units of an economy like individual consumer and individual producer, firm. So it focuses upon study of individual economic units. On the other hand, macroeconomic is the study of entire economy. It is the study of economy as a whole, like aggregate demand, aggregate supply, etc. So what is aggregate demand? Aggregate means, just focus upon the word aggregate. Aggregate means sum of. So it studies the sum of demand of entire economy. Now, the third point of difference is central problems. So microeconomics deals with the central problem of allocation of resources and related principles and policies. You can remember this point from the fact that resources are scarce. So microeconomics main problem or central problem is allocation of resources and related principles and policies. On the other hand, macroeconomics central problem is the determination of level of income and employment and related principles and policies. So what is the main problem of macroeconomics? It is the determination of level of income and employment and related principles and policies. So what do you understand by related principles and policies? We will discuss about it in macroeconomics, okay? So right now just understand that macroeconomics central problem is determination of level of income in the economy and employment in the economy. So number 4 point of difference is instrument to study problem. As we came to know about the central problems, so there are instruments to study those problems. So the main instrument to study microeconomic problems are demand and supply. On the other hand, in macroeconomic, the main instrument to study macroeconomic problems are aggregate supply and aggregate demand. Right? So main instrument to study microeconomic problem, only demand and supply. On the other hand, to study macroeconomic problem, the instruments are aggregate supply and aggregate demand. Aggregate, okay? So number 5th point of difference is solution to the problem. We know there is problem. We came to know about the instrument to study those problem. And now what are the solution? What determines the solutions to this problem? So in microeconomics, price is the determinant to solve microeconomics problem. It is also known as price theory. On the other hand, in macroeconomics, income is the determinant to solve macroeconomic problems. It is also known as theory of income and employment. So, if the question comes, define the concept microeconomics, then write the basis as the headings and write only the left part of microeconomics. And vice versa for macroeconomics. Alright. And if it comes as a differentiation, then make this table. I hope you understood this. So let's move forward toward our third point of discussion. That is, what is economy and its central problem. First, we should understand what is economy. Economy is a system which is spread over a particular area that reveals the nature and level of economic activities in that area. So what is economy? Economy, it is a system which is spread over a particular area that shows the nature and level of economic activities in that area. Learners, I hope you know what are economic activities. Economic activities are basically those activities which is undertaken by an individual to gain money. For example, you must have seen your teacher teaching in school as she teaches and earns salary in return. Other examples include laborers working in factory, transportation businesses. Okay, so economy is a system which is spread over a particular area and it shows nature and level of economic activities. So I hope you have understood it. Now let's discuss about the central problems of economy. The central problem of economy revolves around problem of choice or allocation of resources. And why does the problem of choice or allocation of resources arises? This arises due to the fact that resources are scarce. I have already told you that in the first slide. Secondly, they have alternative usage. And for example, a piece of land can either be used to grow wheat or sugarcane. So the farmer has to make choice whether to grow wheat or sugarcane. So the central problem of economy revolves around problem of choice or allocation of resources, and this problem of choice or allocation of resources arises due to the fact that resources are limited in nature and resources have alternative usage. And this problem of choice has three aspects. First, what to produce. Secondly, how to produce. Thirdly, for whom to produce. So let's discuss these three aspects in detail. Number one, what to produce. It is the problem of choice relating to what goods and services are to be produced and in what quantity goods and services are to be produced. There are basically two types of goods, capital goods and consumer goods. So capital goods are those goods which are used to increase the production capacity, like building and machinery. On the other hand, consumer goods are those goods which are used or which are readily available for consumption, like food, clothes, etc. So the aspect of what to produce relate to what goods and services are to be produced and in what quantity goods and services are to be produced. So there is a choice between capital goods or consumer goods. The second aspect is how to produce. It is a problem of choice relating to technique of production. There are two techniques of production, capital intensive, labor intensive. Capital intensive technique of production uses more machinery. On the other hand, labor intensive technique, as the name suggests, uses more laborers. So how to produce aspects relates to which technique of production should be used, whether capital intensive or labor intensive. The last aspect is for whom to produce. This problem of choice relates to the distribution of income in the economy. So in this video we covered three topics. First is what is economics, macroeconomics and microeconomics, and the last is economy and its central problems. So I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching it.